I think that's it. Alright. Here we go. Getting into character. Let's go. Might need a second, yeah.
Direction.
Get in the tree.
Just gonna go do
Carrie.
stupid rolls.
I'm
No,
going to sleep. Good night, everybody.
Carrie will require me to
Good
be
night.
full body.
Good
No,
night.
that was so funny. I saw you following me. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I was just like, what are you doing?
Dun, dun.
And I see you go on the
I
camera.
miss
I'm like
these
watching
old
you not going. I
models.
was about to say, if you're going to that
Shit,
bar,
I'm
I'm changing
sorry.
around and kicking your
I
ass
love
in
that
2
model.
seconds.
Harpy.
Hello.
No.
It is I, Muffle
Okay.
you from Ice Cream. No. It's a really like niche little web thing.
Good eye.
It's by the person who made
Alright. How we doing so
Mogeko or
far?
Mogeko's Castle.
Okay.
And what
Oh,
an
I got 2
arrow.
people. Hello.
Have not seen that one either.
This is a little
Pretty
seal
hot.
girl.
Tonight's just
So I
a
was
stupid
like,
night for
she's so
DT.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All this stupid shit's going on.
And then when we explained the situation, he said same difference. And then continued to call me a demon. Profiled me as a bad person because of the
Good
way-
eye.
Carl.
Or I
well,
suppose
When's the
night.
last time you
Yeah.
showered? Important
There
question on
you
that.
are.
Literally right before I came.
Where is the one?
Oh, I don't know why they're calling you filthy then.
Well,
I know, right?
this one is
It's
fine.
weird, like that's the constant thing.
Oh, it's you!
Oh, hello, sorry.
Stand here.
This is our contact, yeah, Darren.
Yeah, he's just been very rude today. It's been very hard for me.
Oh, I see. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Journey throughout the land.
Back. Let's go to a quieter
Alright, take care.
place.
The amount
Hmm.
of
And I might go to the hunting
This has
ground.
been a very
Okay.
have stayed away from
Hey.
your branches, giving you
Over
away
there will
that
be the most
purpose that I've always longed for. This place could be that new home, that new purpose.
Well, this is quite an odd angle.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like it'd be awful hard to have a drink here, but it's supposed to be some sort of dream, so.
Yeah, I think I'll
Welcome
stand.
to the dreamscape. I could not take the request. Oh no, it's that individual again. They have a tournament of Smash coming over here every once in a while for recruitment, firing tournaments like a gladiator's pit.
So
Anyhow.
you're. Yes.
Any questions before I give the details of the mission I am here
Well,
to...
it helps to know the details before, so I can then ask questions afterwards.
Right,
Understood.
well,
And I got a bit
No
of information from
certainty
Coral. Is that a
happened
contact?
during the border.
yeah. I can fill in some of the rest.
Things involving escorting, beasts, cultists.
Yeah, that's most of it.
Yes.
Apparently, his son of some sort is trapped in a secondary plane of his world, and he wants us to help guide him to him. Yeah?
That is incorrect. My kid called Nova has been sent to purgatory, putting their soul not in the circle of reincarnation. I am having you to escort me to meet the god called Gaia. They are from a plane of existence where the earth has been rotting away with the neglect of the god.
Of the god that we're going to visit?
Yes.
Hmm.
I could go there, but it will be a suicidal mission with the cultists that are guarding the territory which they have usurped.
Well, what do these cultists have? Are they... Like, what kind of
They have-
equipment are we dealing with here?
There is a zone of anti-magic which nullifies my ability to transform into this or other shape. You saw my real form briefly before I went to sleep and back up. A small gelatinous form with a mushroom-shaped head.
Oh, I think I saw that. I
Come.
thought it was something from around here.
Mm.
It's my first time here, so...
Understand. I found another form in case they have the description of whom you are to be contracted by.
Well, not exactly. I mean, Coral told me that you're some sort of changeling. So, getting an exact description...
Well, shapeshifter. Apparently, homunculus is what he said.
Yes, correct.
Well, shapeshifter kind of makes it so a physical description doesn't exactly help much.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Okay, so
Piece
you,
of
just to make sure I
helper.
understand, you want us to escort you to some god of this ravaged world
Yes.
to basically go to your son. To
I'm
get them
gonna
from
have
outside of the...
information about what caused the change on the contract between me and the god. I was expanding the age of the planet by having my son be the champion to rejuvenate the plane, of which they live temporarily. A few decades to centuries, depending on the contract. Something amiss, and I have not been informed of changes. Therefore, I need to meet Gaia in person. They do not
So, you would of course know better than I
interdimensional-
would. Why would they be trying to stop you from seeing their god in that case? Because it sounds like you have a pretty large connection with them, seeing as you use your son as a contract, I suppose is the best way to put it.
When I went there earlier, before I started assigning for freelancers to help me, there were cultists who believe that I am a god killer or someone that will destroy the plane by my next visit with this god. I'm not sure the details, but I think Gaia is making sure that I am not to meet them without difficulty.
That would be an understatement if it sounds like you have a god who might be angry at you, as well as all of their followers, it sounds like. Am I getting this right, Coral? That's how it sounds to me, at least.
Sounds pretty accurate. I think it could also be a case that they've not been informed of the deal in the first place, so they just sort of assume that he's an outside force.
Could be, but it sounds like we're going to face heavy resistance in that case.
Hmm.
How many people are you thinking of
that is-
having in this operation? I mean, obviously there's you,
Oh.
but you said you can't even transform due to what the
In
cultists
the zone I can
haven't.
transform, but on the way there, we will meet cultists and ferals, including a large one if we are not quiet about our approach. There is a big feral that I have not seen before. It is my last visit. It is about 2 sizes of my height.
Right, didn't mention that one before.
Fun.
He did mention that as far as the cultists go, their technology is quite a bit behind because of the collapse of their world.
Yes, it has
What are they
rotten
using?
away. So
He said
we are not expect guns or
ramshackle sort of
machinery.
spears and such.
Indeed.
I see.
The price
Okay, how
for
many-
the work is to escort me there with a minimum payment of 10,000 credit for the work, and a favor upon completion from your crew. As a father, at the promise.
Well, not to be callous, but what exactly would you be able to even do as a favor? It sounds like the world you're from, it looks like it's in a bad state. Based on how you've described it. So, I'm afraid that doesn't mean much
It
to
is
me.
of not my work. I am assisting other planes of existence. This dying one is only one that I happened by chance to meet. By getting
But we're willing
the
to offer your
realm
son
where you
for.
two are from. My son has something I believe the humans called the word tree. Upon their
Say again?
death, the word tree. In the creation of the contract, we assigned my lineage with Gaia. The word tree of that word is in connection with, making them half organic and half plants.
I mean, the job doesn't exactly pay very well, but I want to make one thing clear. I assume you are okay with this as well. I'm not fighting a god. If
You
things
did-
go wrong with this, because it sounds very much like you're on strained terms with them. We get you in to see your son. We get out if there's a problem.
Yes, that can be arranged.
No fighting them. I don't think we want to risk that.
Yeah, Divine Wrath is quite a trouble.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm worried about.
I doubt that we'd have to deal with any direct confrontations ourselves, because I assume at the point where he meets them, we're actually going to be separated. At least until you finish your
Upon
talk.
reaching there, I have enough information to know that I can handle it. With a minimum of 5, we can reach there. 8 will be ideal. A healer, archers, and gunmasters will make this trip easier.
You've already got
In the
a
zone of where...
Fae.
Yes.
I mean, a Fae, you know.
I saw that you mentioned Wisty, but I'm very worried about bringing her on something like this for obvious reasons.
He did mention as far as the escort itself goes, it shouldn't be any real risk of death. And honestly, I'd say if he does actually end up in a confrontation with the deity, we're just leaving there.
Of healing.
Yes, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be going. That's...
I would
we will
I
have
would take
to
that as
probably do our
assumed.
own...
Yeah.
Yeah, that is why I want to make sure it was clear to you, we are not fighting a god. This is not god killing money.
And at least partial
thought-
payment up front should be
Very, very
stated.
minor... Yeah, exactly.
Knowing Gaia, I don't think they will, but I can see this. In case they were to attack, but I don't think. Gaia is a very lazy individual, which deteriorated the planet to begin with. If something goes wrong when I am in that zone, how much money would you take to gun down the god of Gaia?
I don't think we've got the equipment.
Are you serious? I don't think you could pay that price. That's... Even if we had the equipment, that is not a cheap thing to ask for. Much like Coral's already said, you don't just go kill a god. It's not a... You don't
Yeah.
just do that. That is liable to get you killed, your son killed, and all of us killed.
Even if we did have the means to kill a god, It's practically, as far as what you'd want to pay for such a thing, out of mechs, you'd practically have to give them their own world.
Yeah, and based on how you've made it sound, there isn't exactly much there. Not that I'd really be interested in that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We can probably get you out of the situation, but we're not fighting a god. That is too much to ask. And if it does come to that, that will be extra. I think that's safe to say. Goes a bit above what you're expecting of us. Especially for only 10,000 credits. Or 10,000 gold, or insert currency
Yeah.
conversion. Yeah.
Understandable. The initial deed was to escort me there. This bringing up of fighting the god. I don't expect Gaia to be dumb enough to fight. Especially since there were meeting of them. They are arrogant. They think my true form is only
That sounds exactly why the god would fight us. Gods are arrogant.
Yeah.
Very, very much so. Even little ones. Especially little ones. I don't know how powerful your god is, the one that you've made this deal with, but...
Well, said Gaia, which, from what I know of Gaia from our own mythos, gains strength from the health of the planet, and if the planet's in such bad shape as he says, realistically shouldn't be too strong, but I wouldn't even really want to take the risk of fighting a demigod, really.
No, exactly. It's out of the question. I'd sooner find a way for us to evacuate that situation than, like, get... If I go in the city, it might be possible to get some sort of equipment to, I don't know, teleport them out. You know, you, your son, we go to the god, we do your talk, we go.
Non-tech world, so we should be able to get something that'll work just fine there.
Do you have a non-magical method of reaping open a portal? That's the question.
I don't, but I know someone who does. I don't know if they'd be willing to assist, but...
What is
Teleportation isn't something that only gets applied to, magic. A contact of mine. Only met them recently, so I don't know how trustworthy they would be. Oh, actually, I know how trustworthy they are. They're a bit naive. Their name's M4. And they have a ship that can teleport, things to it, from my understanding.
M4.
I know she's teleported stuff off of it, but...
Are they a robot?
They're a synthetic.
That...
Yes.
I could ask an individual called Kate. I hire them for transport work every once in a while.
Well, given what you said about the threats that we'll be facing there, if you've got synthetic friends you want to have on that trip, it wouldn't be a bad idea. After all, easy way to stop a spear with titanium. We're not going to have the same luck with that, I'm afraid, but...
Yeah, well, I think my anchor can handle most of that. You've got a gun yourself, so you've got more range than they do.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how long that works. Numbers are a thing.
Yeah, ideally bringing some sort of mule along would be good. Someone to carry the equipment.
That I can provide.
Right?
You said 10,000 credits will not be enough for the escort mission, including the emergency exit if needed.
The queen
Were
has
you
sent
summoned by a witch?
Yes. Are you summoned by a witch,
summoned
foul creature?
Oh, excuse me 1 second.
Oh, it floats!
Whom is
Floats!
this witch you
like
want
a
to
witch!
speak of?
Oh, that is
Truly
so
witchy.
sweet.
Maybe it's a witch
Oh,
herself.
no.
Are you a witch?
Are you a witch?
We can take a look. Grabs you by the head
Oh,
and
oh,
drags
oh,
you to the water.
oh, unhand them! Unhand them! What do we
I guess it's good this is just a dream, or that person will be legit dead right now.
Well, I assume that's meant to be a
Was
way
that a
to put him to
gunshot?
sleep. I don't think so. I think it was just a trick of the imagination.
No, they've got a gun.
Maybe
Well, it's
because
gone now.
technically your gun's supposed to be automatically removed in character.
Yeah.
Let me go! Let me go, creature!
Down.
Is-
Do you believe I know
So what do you think?
Yes.
I believe you are a creature of
I
the
mean,
night that is some
From
despicable
what he's
evil.
said, aside from the actual dealing with the god, it shouldn't be too difficult. If the god is on the decay, then that
Yeah.
means her worshippers probably aren't that strong either. The big creature he didn't mention, though.
Yeah.
It's got me a bit
Well,
on
it's
edge.
more mention whole going into purgatory or something like that.
Yeah.
Go rescue his son, or to go have him get in contact with his son. It's still just there's a big difference between just walking down the street and having a full group of cultists and beasts that want to kill you and everyone near you.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong, I don't shy away from that sort of thing, but
I mean,
makes me
yeah.
very concerned about who we bring with us.
And this is brother.
Well, you only recommended Wisty on behalf of... She mentioned having a railgun.
Pardon about that. Every once in a while, strange individuals
yeah, she
shows up
does.
and mock the visitor.
Doesn't exactly work well for most situations, though.
Hmm.
I mean, if you don't care about the surroundings, it's not a big deal, but she also hurts herself something fierce whenever she does use it. Apparently, broke her wrist the last couple times.
So it's not attuned correctly.
And my name is Brother Sands.
Well, it's more like
More or less.
someone's using it, bracing it,
Hmm.
because it's in the briefcase. It's not exactly a... She's a
She's not
dumbass, is what I'm trying to say.
She's not mounting it.
Yeah, maybe if you were there, you could help with that sort of thing, but...
Yeah.
Kind of like what... Yeah, it's a whole thing. I don't want to talk about that right
Right.
now. This is supposed to be business time, not me getting angry at Westy again. Yeah, if we have M4 there, I'm fairly confident, based on the tech that I've seen them have, that it should be fine.
Yeah.
Wisty is a healer. Wouldn't be bad to have her, but I'm just very worried about bringing her along. That's why I want to make sure we're not fighting a god.
The initial planning does not include fighting Gaia herself. Her behavior
initial
last time I
planning.
Yes. You
So
were the
you
one
plan to
mentioning
fight this
the
god at
risk.
some point.
Well, I think he more so is considering it a contingency.
Hmm.
What I think he does mean to
Yeah, our
imply not on
contingency is we're
a
going
this
to get the
direct
heck out of
mission.
Dodge.
Have you heard of?
Hmm.
I think he
For
intends to
your
mean
choosing
future contracts, yeah?
information, I have a special contract with another deity called the Mother of 1,000 Young. My plan, if things go south with their arrogance, I'm gonna summon her children to obliterate the cultists of worship, making her immortal.
I'm gonna kill the next fucker who called this pick.
That is my continuously plan, which was why I put in the contract I mentioned to Coral earlier. Sending me there, I send you back to the material plane of which you came. I can open a rift with the command of the dimension, the location of which you want to be, but everyone needs to be sent at the same time. Can't put you to different coordinations.
Actually, I should have mentioned
this large
this before, but I didn't think it was necessary since you don't really do magic yourself. He did say that the reason you can't get close is because there is some sort of magic dampening
Anti-magic.
area. Yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned it about his transformation
good.
at least. I assume that it meant that the cultists were armed with some sort of anti-magic wards
Yeah.
or something. I would like you said, I don't really know that much about magic, but it sounds like magic won't solve this. So
Yeah. I just mean
if magic
why
doesn't
he
solve
actually
it,
needs us to
then
get us there,
high
but not to
caliber
get us
rounds
out.
do. At least until we get past that point, it sounds like.
Yeah.
The zone of anti-magic was used as a neutral zone to put Gaia at ease of no rebellion.
I can't wait for the time.
Magic called wild magic,
Where you get teleported
in
into
this
an
case,
anime plot and you become the
Mm.
can on occasion be acquired through birth and connection to the weave. Other gods that are not Gaia can bless clerics if there is a temple, but Gaia has reassured that only her worship is in this planet. Any progression of a cult is instant.
Do her cultists or worshippers use magic then?
They don't.
Oh, well, lucky us then, I
It's a
suppose.
double-edged blade.
Hmm.
That's why the cultists I consider primitive. The ferals are a bigger threat than them in combat.
Yeah, when you say ferals, you mentioned that one was like double the size of you. What are we dealing with? Wolves? Bears? Sewer bears? Bigger wolves?
I don't think
Cats?
it's a fear. A lion, eh?
In this plane, it's what it's called.
Hmm.
It's in the same family as dragons, but a lesser.
No, I mean, there's
Not-
no bulge there, so obviously there's nothing there.
When you say dragon, you mean the big fire-breathing...
No.
You don't know my life.
This one has 2 horns, looking like a dinosaur with wings.
Can't believe you asked for.
But it only has 2 legs and wingspan.
Right?
It's a
I'm literally teaching you.
bipedal.
Well, I guess you'll get the opportunity to slam its jaws shut or something, depending on how it fights. I can't get close to something like that, I'll get myself gored.
I mean, horned dinosaur, my first thought is a Kano.
The tail is the second biggest. It can break rocks with ease. So I'm not sure how armor will do if you were to be hit.
It's not like I
Which is
really wear
why-
armor anyways. I prefer to just avoid getting hit, if it's all the same.
Understood.
At least my armor's not really meant for, getting a hit like that.
Well, I can kind of naturally take a
Which
pretty
is
big
why I'm
hit.
bringing potions, and also my own ability to...
Yeah.
If it hits and break your rib.
He mentioned
You-
34 across the hill group, and he's trying to get more.
Say that again.
34, right? Yeah, potions.
At the moment, that's the
Yeah.
current collection. Split even.
So, healing potions?
Yeah.
They alchemical or magical?
Alchemical from the wits. Magical from
Okay. Just wanted to
a
make sure.
sorceress.
I mean, it's not gonna fix a broken lung or something like that if we get gored or tail swiped, but it might help with some more surface. In that case.
If your lungs get pierced, I can repair them. It's organic.
No, I mean...
He did mention he
yes,
could handle
I'm-
any physical.
I am a
damage.
regular human. With as much durability as a human does. There's a reason why I said I want to avoid getting hit. So
Mhm.
that sounds like it would be
Mm.
pretty fatal.
Ideally, you should be at the distant range
Hmm.
anyway.
Your duty, you said you were an archer,
Ideally.
correct? You're not a
You
frontline.
could say that. An archer with arrows that are a lot faster than most archers can shoot, but
Understood. I will recommend you
we'll
bring
see
your
how they
black
do with
wine
electricity.
in your eyes. We have yet to determine a leader to be the commander. To observe us from a safe distance and coordinate our aggressors.
So aside from you, are we escorting anything else?
Only myself. I
Okay.
have a pocket dimension where I can store items, but it is limited when we get there.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that you are able to, that we're not, dragging a cart or something like that across this world.
A cart will be provided, but it's a magic item.
I was kidding.
M-
I don't
we
think
are
we
not
need a cart.
walking on
How long is this trip supposed to be?
I think it means a carriage, yeah.
Yes.
Well, even then, that's
Yeah.
still important to know. How long are you expecting this trip to be? Are we talking like an hour? 2 hours? Days? Weeks?
A few hours if we are undisrupted. A day at the most. But that's only if the Wyvern gets to find us.
Also, if you said it's a magical item, that won't help us anyways, so you might want to keep that
In the
cart
zone.
out of the area.
Only in that
I don't think
zone,
you
that
want to
will be
leave
the
a magical item around. It's like leaving a high value piece of tech just lying around.
It is common.
Well, I mean, I assume
The
it can
only
only go as
magical
far as
thing
we can
about
So I
actually
guess
get
we should
it has
expect
that
for hitting the
capability to
anti-magic
suck
anyway.
cultists with magical carts then.
Well, not likely since they're in the anti-magic field.
No, I mean outside of it.
I suppose it's possible, yeah.
Well, it's good to know how long you're expecting this to be. Guess we'll make sure to bring a bedroll or something like that just in case.
Yes.
I'll have to see if I get some toys
It will
from
be warm.
Millie for this. I don't think I'd be able to spare more of the girls. I mean, I'll have to ask Wisty. That's gonna go so badly.
Yeah, she'll probably insist that she's gonna come if you do say you're going somewhere, I assume.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm worried about. I don't want to just go and then find out we're halfway there, and then Wisty pops up from behind a bush, being chased by 6, 7 cultists and our large friend.
Yeah. Well, probably talk about it tomorrow at the Lotus, just to get more people to
Yeah.
convince her not to go, yeah? Our friend here
good luck
can't
with
meet
that.
us there.
It'd be like
fortunately.
convincing you to not go in the water.
Yeah.
Is this person really that unreliable if you were to go there without them?
Oh, she's
following
not
us?
unreliable. Far from it. She's very capable, but
Takes risks.
there's a difference between fighting scrappers and fighting cultists and beasts 3 times her size.
There's only
She's not
one
quite used to the same.
3 times the size. The rest are about your height.
Oh, just animals that are the size of a person at least. Look, she hasn't fought those kind of things. She's not
Then it's
unreliable.
good-
I just don't want her to
It's
get
good
hurt. That's all.
practice to explore the unknown. You can't babysit someone like that. Playing it safe can deteriorate their strength.
Yeah,
Are you
and then
in
she
love
breaks
with
her
this
wrist with the
person?
railgun.
Out of curiosity, were they a direct family member? You never stated.
Grew up with them.
To a childhood friend.
Yeah, and it's also my
Understood.
job to keep her safe. So you can probably understand why it's a bit of a... why I am apprehensive to take my charge into a dangerous mission intentionally.
Have you told them that
I
this
trust her to be
is
capable.
not gonna be that dangerous. I think they're being a little bit too paranoid.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
also didn't
That's
mention that
why
big
I'm
creature the
still
first time.
alive. The reason why I'm still alive is because I'm cautious about these sort of things.
The big creature
See,
I
we're-
didn't mention because I don't think we're gonna go loud and Ye Heil Jenkins this thing gonna be smart.
No, I see they have access to the internet.
Well, do have a phone. They've been in this world for a bit.
Hmm.
Or, I guess, our world, I don't know
I
whose
am
world
not
this
that
is.
old. My siblings old.
When
Probably no
let me put it
older,
this
really.
way. My job is to keep Wisty safe. If I bring Wisty in a situation like this, there is a large amount of risk, especially since you've mentioned that there's a god involved in it. I don't expect to fight a god. I need to be prepared to fight one and get everyone, yourself included, out of that situation. You are paying us to escort you. This is a natural conclusion. There's a reason why I'm asking you so many questions about it. It's not the first time I've had to protect someone. And it certainly won't be the last. Unless I die with this, which I really hope doesn't happen. Because Wisty would kill me.
As well, I don't actually know how loud your gun
We
is.
could assign this
but guns tend to be
risky
loud.
person to be nearest to me.
Energy bolts.
They can be
It's
my
not-
personal guard.
They're very good at,
Descent.
let's just say, in the case of a beast, they don't really react too well to electricity for the most part, so...
Well, yeah, I mean, like the sound of them traveling, though.
Of us traveling in general, I don't expect
your
anything
weapons
loud,
fire.
but beasts... well, I don't just have a gun, so...
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't
if
have a
we do
silencer
have
on it, if that's what you're asking. It's gonna sound more like a
Yeah.
Transformers going and blowing.
Well, yeah, but a large predator or creature will probably just be attracted by a sound that it's not familiar with. That's where that risk comes in, yeah?
Which is why
Yeah,
we
well-
need to be quiet.
That's why that
The
railgun is
smell
also
of
not
this,
exactly an option.
Yeah.
Unless it scatters the beasts.
Deteriorated planet. It's not gonna smell us from a distance if we are being quiet. There's too much in the background that will distract it. I know this because I know and seen it. I can determine the creature with my sight in my true form that you saw earlier.
Well, I mean, given what I've seen you with that anchor, I wouldn't be surprised if you just knocked that 2 times him-sized beast straight on the ground with it. If you hit it just in the right spot.
You mentioned
Right.
3 ton. That is in brute force as well, correctly.
I mean, it is the weight of the
If
anchor
you
in
can
and of
hit
itself.
it in the face or
Yeah.
clobber its tail or break its leg. It
Yeah.
will be the best.
We can certainly go for that, yeah.
The entire point of this is to minimize risk going through it, because we don't know when that god will eventually get pissy and send cultists after us.
They will
Luckily,
be
I would assume that those cultists have
hiding in the
some...
safe zone they
Actually, that's a
have
good
with
question.
magic.
How much of a, how much zeal would you say they have? Are they gonna actively bother us while we're dealing with something that will kill them just as easily as it would us?
No.
Or do they have life preservation? Okay, that's good. That's surprising. Most don't. Well, worst case scenario, we can take advantage of that.
Me?
Like I said, it is
Does
an
he get
arrogant
hungry?
god. The god,
The big boy.
wyvern, or the feral.
The big boy. The wyvern, I guess, would be the best way to put it. You said you had your pocket dimension. What's it, right?
Yes. What do you have in mind?
Oh, I mean, if we have a sufficiently sized group of cultists, it wouldn't be any real issue if we were to sneak something into their, make things complicated for them. You said that it's attracted to smell, right? If it's potent enough?
Yeah, we could bait them
Yes.
to the cultists, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. Rather make it not our problem at that point.
That is not a bad
It's
idea.
just a beast.
Yeah.
Could I
But that's neither here
assign
nor
one
there.
of you free to get something with a high order, preferably fresh?
You might have better luck than I would in that case, Coral.
Mate,
There isn't exactly anything fresh in Zephyra.
I mean, I don't really know how much shark would smell on land. I've not really tried it, but that's normally what I end up killing out there.
Well, it's better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
If we're lucky, it can be a 50-50 thing. Either it, does its job, baits it, or it gets repelled by the smell and then leaves us alone.
Yeah.
Depends on if it's ever had shark before, I guess, is the big question.
I know whale smells a lot, but I'm culturally not
don't
really
think-
available for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you have some difficulty just, bringing a whale around. Don't get me wrong, I know you're strong,
Well, I mean,
but
I
that
mean-
might be a bit overkill.
Not a whole whale, but a large chunk of meat would have a strong smell, but culturally not really allowed to touch them, yeah?
Understood. Your idea with using the wyvern to our advantage is not a bad idea. I know they call
Well,
this,
I'd rather
are
not
not
fight it if I can
many.
help it.
but a genocide is troublesome. Because Gaia can sense their followers. In the sense of they're losing the amount of them.
Oh, so if we
She
keep him
herself
alive, it's no
will
problem then.
Not travel. Probably thinking that one of the pharaohs ate or attacked.
Oh, so as long as they're alive, it's fine. Okay. That's fine. How good are you at stunning people? Knocking them out?
I regret to
I'm
inform
good
you,
at
however,
straddling
we are
skulls, yeah.
currently closing, so if you want to make your way towards the airship, if you please. Thank you.
Yep.
Don't know how long we have on the airship before waking up.
Where's the weapon? There should be a weapon, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god.
We won't wake up instantly.
We've gone too far. I found it.
Interest.
I could have sworn they came. It used to come.
I
with
could
a
meet
fucking...
you guys in Sephira City
Oh, we are
using the
worst.
cellular device to give a coordinate.
Ooh.
And with
It's
that,
not Papillon,
with
but-
that, the airship goes down, and we are finished for
Blows
tonight.
up.
Alrighty.
So if you give
Damn.
us a few minutes, we will. Actually, you know what? No, it's fine. You're free to go. Good. Just
Charge! Crusade,
Oh boy.
Oh, you are not making it easier for my boy, Gremlin. Interesting.
No.
Interesting.
Why would I make it easy? You literally told us to go deal with a possible god. Are you kidding me? I'm human. I'm human. I'm not gonna go, oh, you're just casually gonna fight a god. It's no problem.
Cora literally saw
and
this
yeah,
as,
I'm gonna ask-
haha, barbarian
so-
Gober.
If those cultists are still alive, it's fine then, right?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
that's fine
why
then. I
on
can
the
stun.
board-
I can knock people out. That's zero problem for my stuff. That's the
So
advantage of
we're
my
not
kit.
supposed to kill the cultists.
Well, if the beasts eat them, it's fine. It's not our problem. We just don't want to have the god be fully cognizant of us being there, I guess, would be the goal, so we have less less resistance to deal with. Because I imagine it's not going to like us going closer to its territory.
I could ring the anchor like a bell,
If
honestly.
they
Probably call it
die,
in.
it should be because of the beast. Yeah. And of course, if we knock them out, then it's a non-issue for us, ultimately.
True. That's why it's on the table to kill or unconscious. The ruining
Well, I
character
mean, you have literal anchor power, so you can probably knock people out pretty easy.
Unless
It's
they
kind of
snap
difficult
their
to
neck
keep
like a
them alive. 3 tons is hard to prevent death.
Just fisticuffs.
I have the strength to lift a 3-ton anchor. I'm going to Mike
you gotta have
Tyson
some
them.
control. Yeah, that's fine. Just
Yeah.
just go like, oh, I guess I can't kill you,
Punch him in the balls.
and then they have no leg anymore.
Oh,
was
yeah,
gonna
the
say
leg.
the knee. That works too. And then that way you're getting 2 cultists out of the fight, because
Right.
one has to then administer to the other one. What are they gonna do? Shoot us?
Or if I punch him in the balls,
They don't have guns.
I stop hundreds
Yeah,
of them
exactly.
from being in
That's
the
the
fight
point.
because they're never going to be born.
Yeah.
The technology
There you go.
in the plane that we're going to has a very low
Yeah.
technology. I don't even think
So yeah,
I'm
like
gonna
technically
have internet.
M4 would be the person that Faye would ask about it, but she doesn't know super much about M4. That's the only thing. At least in character, does not know much.
Coral doesn't have many
I know
connections
Drew
yet.
can contact Kate and ask about the individual called
One day
M4
you
if
will.
they are for hire.
Yes.
Yeah, you have your little phone. Or tablet,
That's
rather.
cool.
You have more tech than I
I
do
saw
right
the
now.
live stream and it actually had like a matching.
I mean, I guess because you're not carrying.
I say
anything
that. I'm. Yeah, right now I'm not carrying anything. I've technically got like the EMF, and that's it. And that's more of a defensive thing.
there. Yeah.
It's not a weapon. It's just a. Is that Magitech or something, or is that
No.
legit just technology?
It's just tech. Coral
Okay,
has
don't
like
let
no
me ever
one-
touch
no-
that.
Oh.
Why not?
Don't let me ever touch that. I will break that on accident. My character has an electromagnetic field around them. Like if you've ever played MGS2, it's Fortune's thing.
Yeah.
So
I've been
I basically will break small electronics if I touch them because of I'm basically shorting them with an EMF.
yeah.
Your thing will be probably fine. Like I'm not gonna go, oh, what's this, and then breaks. It's more that you'll see the screen probably visibly distort as I'm touching
It probably
and go,
reset because
oh,
it
no touch.
all of the screen is not actually there. These are actually flying. So
Oh, these will be
this is a
fine then.
projection.
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, you'll be okay.
But yeah,
then.
you
That's
would
fine.
probably distort the projection though, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm making your life difficult because you gave us an escort mission, and there's a lot of factors to factor into that. That's why I was like 10,000 gold is not gonna be enough for this. Like, holy shit, that's like
You
I'm
could
at
have
like
made a
that's
higher
split.
That's half a car.
since You are being. No,
I assume it was
no,
each.
Ooh,
You're
half
not
a
saying
car.
that's each person.
Yeah,
gets 10
that's
pounds.
each.
Okay, that's a bit
Yeah.
better.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
half
the
a
room
car.
Presumed.
Or we could get a
Yeah.
really old car.
Half a
You
car
could
to
buy
fight a
one of
god.
them wheelies.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you
Those
get, like, a
those
full-
ancient
get, like,
relic
a
cars
motor
with the
scooter?
4 wheels.
Oh, we can get
For
segways
instance.
with that money.
We could get 10 segways with that money easily.
Yeah, we don't even use the cart. We'll just use an advance from you, and then we'll just get a bunch of segways to just cart us down the freaking thing. We'll put ourselves in like a big metal box.
We'll
It's
just
like a
get
car, but with
swagways on
segways.
our avatars and
It's
just
extremely inefficient.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, and make
If
me do
anyone
this
could actually
at the same
do that,
time.
that would be cool.
We gotta flex.
T-pose down.
I mean, I could definitely just hop into full body for the
All
mission
right.
so I can lock my animation and just actually do my T-pose.
Alright, let me change map real quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because funny enough, I have a lot of things.
You probably want to move on to the island because this is the spawn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so,
the spawn.
Get a good distance from the dock.
So my batteries are at critically low.
You didn't charge your
at this point,
stuff?
so I will
Oh
have to
no.
head out shortly. Someone else was using it earlier, so I
Oh.
have it's at minimal charge. It's no biggie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will talk to Wisty in character about it, and we'll see how that goes. You did not make a good appeal for it. Because Faye is very worried about this mission, and you calling her paranoid was the worst thing you could have said, seeing as you are our client. Oh, don't worry about it, it's fine.
To be fair,
And then whoever
Rude
Faye has to
confidence
basically
in
beat the
this,
shit out of you after. Oh, she won't fight God, she'll fight you if she has to. To keep her friends safe.
Oh god, that would be fun. Faye versus the Rune.
Well, I mean, are you from outside the material plane?
Yeah, the Rune.
Yeah, that's bad then for you. Yeah, Faye is anti-outsider. That's her whole shtick. If it's not from the material plane, it's a very bad time for anything she fights. It's the equalizer for her being human. She can fight supernatural threats. People she does less well against.
Interesting kid.
Coral could destroy her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could destroy.
Most people I could destroy.
You don't even need help for that.
I could just sort of
just
drop
take
an
a
anchor
big
on them.
anchor and you go.
It's
Yeah.
like,
You don't even
whoops, I lost
like,
my
attack with
balance.
No, you just hold above their head and then you
Yeah.
drop it, and then they're just like, please. As you have a 3-ton anchor on them
It's
and
just
they
like-
can't get it off.
They're working together. It's like, just turn around. Hey, Faye, catch. Faye not realizing what's going on. Catch.
But yeah, I will.
Yeah, let me drop the map so we can do a little bit
Yeah.
of.
I'd say,
how
like,
long is your
okay.
battery anyway? Like,
stand, like, right around here to drop it.
It's 7% right now.
This is probably a safe distance from the spawn.
Yeah, the distance, it's not the problem. It's just. Let's see here. Where's that map?
Did you
Go
get
to
sleep?
Upper Sephora City, boys.
Or you have a long day at work?
Technically, both. Okay, so we go in here.
Alright, for the sake of the RP, presume that the Rune has hired this place for a little while. That's why there's
He's
no
renting this place and he's
Thousands
paying
of
us 10
gold.
grand.
Yeah.
Hey, I was told by Hellhound that 10,000 will be like a good escort mission money.
So like I said before, it comes down to the hazard pay of possibly fighting a god.
Yeah,
If you
I
were
did
like,
not include
hey-
that in the arc though.
Actually, now you got
Okay,
me curious with something that I can use as a reference point. Give me one moment.
Again,
I need to see if I
remember
actually
you're the
have,
freelancer. If you want better money, you can make like this is my minimum.
No, I
fee.
already did. I mean, I already did say I want to be paid more. I'm not gonna quantify that because, as I'm sure you've already noticed, money doesn't matter in the metaverse. So, insert indeterminate amount higher than 10,000. Essentially, is what Faye is asking for. Why am
I have
so
known
weird? Oh, I'm in
one
the
person
wrong
that actually
Discord.
kept consistent with their money, and they actually have all this fucking banking knowledge that they evaluated their price and taxes for their fucking watch.
Oh my god.
Oh, do
Why?
you mean the synthetic that has the steampunk?
No,
theme to it?
FJK. He, out of character, set up
Oh,
an
no, it doesn't say
entire
him.
document figuring out the finance of his character.
Yeah, I mean, I just use a general wealth band
Yeah.
essentially for what Faye makes. She's essentially
Yeah.
like an adventurer, so like her freelancer, literally
Yeah,
just
consider this
adventure XP.
mission, paying a group of freelancer. If it's 8 of you guys, less than 100,000 for this mission.
yeah.
Alrighty, so Let's
I mean, you
the
can
RP
probably
card
convince-
up.
You'd probably be able to convince M4 to not take any money because she probably would be just willing to help you for the sake of helping you. And that's Faye. That's not Faye. Faye is very much a I will do the job you paid me for. She cares, but doesn't care enough.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah,
you get my
what-
friends hurt, I'm going to be very upset.
Fair enough.
I think that's fair.
Coral really doesn't.
But yeah,
care
I think
much.
you're thinking
She'll
the
pretend to
deadliness
care
level
when
is
it
a
gets her
little
more
bit,
money.
Too mystish or
I
Purple
am
Lotus.
treating it as I am a human. And
Yeah.
you have mentioned beasts double your height as a
one
monster,
of them.
and the other ones are my size. Like beasts. We are talking beasts. So if there's a wolf, it is this tall. That is what she is being reasonable about this. She's a human. She has human durability. She's not Coral. Coral's like fucking super
Coral
tank.
it has nothing to do with her race either. It's just the fact that she's a barbarian.
No, I mean you're a barbarian.
I'm the
yeah,
curse
I'm legit
anchor.
talking about the barbarian resistance. You're like,
Yeah.
that's fine. I'll
Yeah.
fight them.
I like
no,
it
she's being
Coral that
cautious.
it's recommending the human, not the rune. Going through his application, like, all right. We have
Well,
a
I mean, the whole
demon,
shtick
we
you
have
had
an
was
angel.
not anti-magic, or like it won't be
Yeah.
affected by magic. And Faye 100% will not be affected by any magical stuff there, including any
So is
beneficial thing you
Dexter,
give
but
her.
He is nanotech, big boy, big fist,
Mm.
and he's basically human.
So legit, I am treating her this way because she is human. She is very well aware of her own shortcomings and is trying to mitigate them as much as possible.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't matter if you tell me out of character, it's going to be a safe mission for the most part. In character, you have told her that you may be fighting a god. Gods usually don't have that name for funsies.
That's gonna be interesting. We'll see. I have the arc planned.
But
I'm not gonna
anyways,
spoil anything.
Yeah. I mean, you said you were doing multiple missions, it sounds like, so... Alright,
Yeah, 2 to 3.
let's get this underway.
We're not gonna speed run it. There'll be 4 maps.
I can say there's a chance
Yeah,
that
I mean,
Coral is
don't-
only on for one of these. Like she's just like, this is what I got paid for. I got enough to relax for a while.
Yeah, and that's how you do the Bowser routine with the
Yeah.
big monster. You just grab by the tail and just...
So long,
So
gay
long,
Bowser.
And then, yeah,
Also,
he-
I'm gonna get a
we have the
model from
mine
the
set up-
Aegis group
Yeah.
for the
Mhm.
the final bit when we're actually gonna have the rune meet whoever's gonna be the. I think Kanan team will be good to roleplay as a Gaia, but I have 2 other options as well.
Oh,
And
I'm
so
sure you'll
many
get it
are
sorted out.
available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
And if
Am I
Flintlock
still
is
loaded
gonna
Right,
for
so we're
him?
doing this
the
tomorrow,
basically
right?
D&D.
No.
I wouldn't be able to. I've got a mission tomorrow, actually, for Quill. And I have one on Saturday as well.
Oh no, I need a NPC DM and also have 2 more people join.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a tank and then.
Well,
I can no
M4
longer
will be
do
able to
Sunday
fit that
things
in
either.
theory. Yeah, I can't do Sunday at all.
I literally have 2 things that I do
can
on
get
Sunday
sorted out
now.
later on, though. I know that you wanted to get a roster first before
Yeah,
you
basically,
set it up time.
You guys, and then we fill in the slots with who is available on the date we have available.
I mean, like, Wisty and M4 would be my picks out of character anyways, because Wisty is a healer, a tech-based healer, and M4 is a super tank. Like, utterly very, very good at their job. They have multiple hardlight shields. M4 plus Coral, your big beast is gonna have a bad day, because she's gonna beat
We've
the
got,
shit out of it, and M4 is going to shield the hell out of it. Or shield the hell out of our allies, and keep you safe.
Yeah, we also have
True.
that one big titty Fae that does flame armor and fire spells, and then we got the blind swordsman guy. I'm sure you've seen him. I
Yeah.
don't remember his name, but he's got the straw hat.
No, I don't think I recognize
Oh.
either of those. Are they from Aegis or something?
No.
No, he goes to Lang Fork and other RPs. I think he spent the
Oh,
purple Lotus.
He was
remember
at
going to
he was
Blind
at
Fork.
Purple Lotus. This is where I met him.
What about the Fae though? I don't know that.
I've
that
only
one doesn't
seen
come
her
to
at
mind
the
either.
Blind Fork so far.
Chimera is roleplayed by Anum
No, that explains it.
Minion. Anuminen. She's very new.
A new
Oh, okay.
Let me
roleplayer,
go to
yeah.
my Discord.
She's got very attractive characters.
Beta Dash. He roleplayed this samurai with
Oh, is that beta?
2 scimitars on both of his hand. What did he say?
Was that beta?
What?
The samurai guy. That was beta?
Yeah, Beta Dash.
Oh.
It says beta apparently.
I had my name tags off.
I just looked at the list on there. Well, no,
Yeah.
I mean I just looked in the roster on the server that he has set up, and Beta Dash is one of them. So I don't know who Beta Dash is, but Beta Dash is on there, so presumably it is Beta Dash.
He's alright.
Yes.
And then yeah, that other character, like you said, is a new one. I haven't.
He's our
I don't go to Line
martial
Fork,
artist.
so because I'm usually doing
Yeah.
other stuff. I can't. I have too much stuff I do, so I can't go VR every day. Just most
Yeah.
days.
Fair enough.
Anyways, neither here nor there. Shall we get this scene underway before I have no
Yeah.
battery?
Let's go.
Yes.
So I guess
Alright,
you go ahead
5,
and we'll
4, 3,
wait.
2, 1. Yeah, go.
Alrighty.
Well, this is a change of pace.
And
just
he was
send
gonna pay
coordinates
us
like that last
10
minute.
grand.
Welcome in. There will be no personnel eavesdropping on our conversation. Let us take a seat.
I mean, we were just in a dream before, so I don't know how that would exactly
It
be.
will be
But
good.
sure. Probably here. They're kind of facing each other for the most part.
Alrighty. Now that I'm not in the dream escape, gonna transform into. You will see the lizardman shrink to a very tiny creature that some of you guys have or may have not seen before.
Oh, I've only. So you were that mushroom thing I saw in the cafe then.
Yes. Yes. Now, this is my true form. I am the Runa. The lizardman form is one of my martial transformation. It makes appearance a little bit easier, but my intelligence drops significantly because of the lizard flaw of their passive. Pardon
Are
for the.
you going to be in
first-
your true form or a martial form when we're escorting you?
When we're escorting, I'm expecting to be in the martial form. Unless I am
Okay.
in the anti-zone, which is gonna send me to this transformation automatically.
I see.
Expecting that there is only one zone, which is in the zone of Gaia.
And this is why you need
However-
an escort.
I need an escort to get
Well, it's
there.
just important to make sure.
Yeah.
And do you possess
If I
any
get my
capabilities to
scales and
fight in that
bits-
form?
Destroyed or shooed, I will get transform into this. So when I saw the Wyvern, I'm strong enough to deal it on my own. However, the loudness will cause issues with the locals. Especially the cultists if they see me in the form that can handle the Wyvern on my own. They will recognize it from my first visit. I was helping this plane of existence out of my own interest as a sympathetic. That word you humans use there once in a while.
Empathy?
Yes, empathy. Thank you. Thank you for filling in. Alrighty, so my job is to hire 5 to 8 freelancer and mercenaries in total. The items will be potion of healing, 34 at the moment. I will split and give to each of you. And I'm gonna buy more things so you guys can be protected. When you're escorting me, you're under my guard. As much as I am under yours. You were mentioning that you are protecting one of the members that may or may not join, depending on your final result after this meeting. I will not hold it against you as a human. However, I need to know more content of who this person is. Are they also a human?
They are. They are an expert in nanotechnology. Or at least that's what they've made clear based on what they've been able to do in that garden. They can heal with nanites.
Okay,
Doesn't really work
so
on
my
me,
healing
but...
won't work on them on a biological level, because they're using nanotechnology. It's not natural in the physical body of the rounds. If I try to heal them, it might inflict wounds rather than heal them, is what you're telling me. They're
Well,
nanites.
they still might be able to heal
healed
us.
by other means?
Well, I mean, she uses her nanites to heal others, is what I'm...
Okay, so she's not made out of nanites in a human form.
No, she's a human. She's a human who just has nanites she uses for healing.
Alrighty.
To repair things. Yeah, she's not synthetic.
Like I said, the two of them are
If she
techies.
was, then I'd have words for her.
Understood. Cora, you recommended me these two yesterday when I was in the line fort, wandering about in my larger form.
Yeah.
Why would you
Well,
recommend two humans to me? Can I trust
Phase.
them to do the escorting and not be... Pardon the wording, but you could hold us back if we need to protect you as much as you have to protect me.
Well, Faye's
Carl's
got
seen me in action.
smart, and obviously a ranged weapon is always something good. And I find personally that I'm not entirely trusting a synths quite yet. Just trying to get used to that. So I do trust her a lot more than them.
Understood.
Besides, we've worked together before. She knows what I can do.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
And
now.
again, she's the one that has
Right.
the shield as well. So if she does come under a direct attack, she does have a way to defend herself.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Can
be
you
standing there
demonstrate it?
like some...
I need to know what I'm collaborating with. If you can take a hit from one of the ferals, it will be at least a moment for us to combo attack them. The shield is not incredibly big, but it is big enough for
It'd
a
be hard
feral
to move it.
not crunch you on the side. Or
Oh, that's all.
break.
Sorry.
That's reassuring.
That's all it needs to be. And besides, that shield will hold up against much more than that. I fought demons off with it already.
Alrighty.
No matter what your beast is like, I'm sure that it can take a few hits, if nothing else. Besides, if you're bringing things with you, I'll probably take the liberty of throwing some, whatchamacallit, some batteries into the mix, just so I can recharge my stuff, depending on how long this will be going for. Unless you expect
Depending
it to
on
be
the
magic,
amount of
that'd be
items, I
preferable.
can pay for the cost of the batteries as the commissioner.
Well, they're custom made, but that's fine.
Let me know the material cost, and I will pay for it. So you don't put it out
Okay.
of your own wallet for this.
Well,
You mentioned
if you
when I was
had
in my larger
a
forum that 10,000 was not enough, but that I didn't mention that it was each. 10,000 each will be, if we are 8 in total, 80,000 credits on the table. I can give more, but based on your two personalities, I'm starting to think that credit is not an issue here.
Well, it's more based on the task that you want done. If it's just as simple as us bringing you there and getting you out, that's fine. But from what you established, there's a god who might be involved with all this nonsense that we may have to deal with heavy resistance. The goal, of course, is to minimize any threat to your life or to any of the teammates that are going to be on this mission. There is a cost to that ultimately. Think of it as hazard pay. If this just ends up being
Alrighty.
a few run-of-the-mill beasts and maybe like a couple of cultists, then there won't be any need to deviate from the deal. The moment that we have significant resistance that is causing us to take wound upon wound upon wound for something that could have been mitigated by telling us in advance and preparing with that in mind, that's going to be extra.
Alrighty.
I think that's completely reasonable, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Well, I could also say that Sophia is kind of harsh on the medical bills if it does come down to that.
Yeah.
If it's any physical injuries, I can heal it after the job from a pre-mission state. If it's biological. I can't heal synthetics, but I can heal organics.
And it is
And is it based on magic?
thread and needle, right?
No, it's metamorphism. I am a homunculi using metamorphism. As long as I touch you and sync with you, I can repair any organs
Oh, I think I know what he's
to
talking about.
its primal state.
Yeah,
It's
you can
that
pay
sort
for my
of
medical
thing where,
bills in that case.
That thing where they sort of like make your own flesh wrap around itself. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd rather avoid that if possible. I'll have you just pay for my medical bills on top of things, barring any danger pay.
Yeah.
Understood. That can be
Yeah.
arranged.
It's not that I don't trust you, it's that my
Yeah, bad
my bloodline
experience in
doesn't
the
take
past
well
with
to
the-
supernatural influence.
Supernatural, do you mean the risk of being controlled by occultists?
Oh
No,
no,
I
that's
mean,
no problem for me, and that's part of the reason why it's a problem in this case, is that it applies to the good things too.
Any sort of abilities
Understood.
beyond straight up chemical reactions.
The most
I
you could
think
do
what
is
she
relieve
means.
my yeah. You could
The planet is too
relieve some of the
deteriorated
pain,
for that
maybe,
kind of biological
but-
weaponry.
Hmm.
I think if we have M4 on our side, depending on the description that you've given me, they might be actually much stronger than the opposition, including the Wyvern.
Yeah.
What weapon do
Well,
M4 use?
I'm sure that it won't
machine
bother you in
gun,
that
a
case to pay for
bazooka.
the
Heavy artillery?
I believe M4 is a weapon itself.
M4. Yeah, I don't know too many details
Oh, right.
on what
You
she's
mean the
capable
synth,
of
right.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know that she is, I know that she has a mission chassis which has a bunch of shields that are made of hard light. It's, very advanced
Oh, yeah, it's
material.
similar to the
I don't know
phone.
exactly how she generates it, but...
It's similar to this phone. Bit like a
Hmm.
bit of a softer version, but effectively same thing.
Yeah, well, I have that deflector slash energy shield. Her hard light will flat out block most attacks. My shield, in comparison, is meant more for if someone's shooting lightning or fire at me. I can take advantage of that and shoot it back at them, essentially. Didn't have much of an opportunity to use it because we had only pounding by those demons, but...
Yeah. Nothing that we could really beat down.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Well,
It's good
we
enough
will
with
not
physical
be
damage, but it's
dealing with
much better against elemental.
long-range enemies.
Yeah, so it'll be just a conventional shield in that case, albeit a very fancy one. At least it's lightweight. But yeah, you can feel free to pay for my medical bills on top of
Alrighty.
the job. I think that's a fair
I'm
thing.
raising the price.
Same for
of
Wisty,
the job.
if it comes into play.
You mentioned this name Missy before. What are
The
Misty?
healer.
Are they
She's
also
a
human?
human. Yes,
The
the one I
three
mentioned with the nano
humans-
healing.
Too.
Okay.
Well, I mean, unless that swordsman guy is a human, I don't know about him.
I couldn't see him very well in the lizard form. My ability to see creatures are only with the bee's eyes. And when I'm transformed, it's a little bit deteriorating with the effect.
Wouldn't be as
That's
I could
why,
tell
for
he
instance, I
looked
can't
human,
see what
but
you are at the time, except for thinking you're like a Triton or
Yeah.
a sea folk based on your color scheme.
sea elf. Easy way to tell. Triton have a lot more exaggerated features. I can say that.
Understood. I can raise the cost from 10,000 to 25 each. That shall pay at least for rent and some costs.
Yeah. That's more of a fair price, I'd say. That's still keeping in mind that if we do have to deal with that god, we are going to get out of there. I want to make sure
Yes,
that's clear.
We can make a pre-made teleportation, either circle or device. Who can I trust to make
I don't
a
think
portal device? For
well, I
our size of
imagine
8?
a gate would work for her. I don't imagine an actual teleportation would.
Yeah, I would need a gate in my case. That's what happened before, at least.
Do you know anyone that could create a gate for us?
Well, like I said before, I believe M4 has teleportation
technological
tech.
gate. Yeah, they can handle technological teleportation. Just when it comes to
I
magical,
can give
it's
them the coordinates
Yeah.
to the plane we're heading to.
Well, I'd say to see if M4 is willing to help you in that case.
If they
first,
won't
I can...
be able to help us directly, we could pay for the fee for the item at the very least. We can make like an emergency exit device that, if it goes south really, and my initial emergency
I don't have
plan
her direct contact information. Do you know Felix? They're a synthetic forge master.
I have not met Felix, but I know Kate.
No, then Kate. Well,
They have these
I don't know.
red gauntlet that kind of look like Felix ketchup bottles.
I think I've met them once or twice. You can try to ask them if they know the person, but I can give you the contact information for Felix, who would be able to also get in touch. Worst case.
Understood. Add that
Besides, Felix
to
might
the
be useful
information
for
board.
it, if nothing else.
Hmm.
He's more of a
You
forge
can
master,
give
though.
them my direct contact using Discord.
Okay.
We have set up a server using Sending Stone, Magic Tech, and a cellular device to connect to.
Yeah.
While we are in this plane, the server, however, we can contact each other in the plane, but it won't be extra dimensional, so we can't reach people in this plane to come and help us. That was
Yeah, I
too
figured that
much
would
of
be
a
the case.
cost to make a hybrid lobby for extra dimensional.
It's
I'm
also
gonna
an
add to the
issue
contract
on-
with Chimera and you that we are protecting these two humans as our main priority when we have encounters.
Right. Whole thing with the Fae, I
As our
made sure that
secondary
he
objective.
established a bit of a contract with them to make sure that they didn't play their tricks against us, because Fae are a little untrustworthy.
That is fair.
Yeah.
True.
Well, they can try it. It won't go well for them if that were to happen. At least in my case.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah, avoid having
like
them
I
play any
told
tricks.
Coral,
This is not the
each one
time for that kind of
you
thing.
As a parent, upon completing this, I will give you all each a lifelong times period of 1 favor, if ever it comes to it. That is a promise as a father.
I mean, the question of a favor, I
Alright.
guess it comes down to what the favor itself is worth.
Yeah, I hope you didn't say that to the Fae. They would take that and run with it.
I will elaborate on the strength of the favor.
Hi, Coffee.
So
Thank you.
they are not
Oh,
asking me to
that's-
sacrifice my life upon.
Well, you're making a deal with the Fae. That's
Yeah.
Somewhat foolish of you to do, but that's what you get for
Consider
working with
I'm
Faye
up
first.
against.
Oh,
I
I'm
take
sure
the
you'll be
risk
happy
with
to take
Faye.
whatever that comes to, but that can mean a lot of things. Just a word of warning.
Duly noted. Appreciated.
Yeah, I might be human, but
do
I'm
know
also
they don't have the best
pretty
of
cognizant of
humors.
this stuff.
Yeah. They're like genies, but worse. Because genies can give
Well, at least with
misleading
genies you gotta
wishes.
get a wish. With a Fae, you don't know what
True.
you're gonna get.
True, but a genie can give you like, make me the richest man alive, and it will pour like a life's worth amount of money over you, and you die instantly.
I mean, it is basically what you can expect of the Fae. As long as it's within their power.
Or they transform you into the person that is the richest, and you lose your life. But you are
Yeah.
technically the richest individual. Yes. Not
yeah,
the way
well,
you
the
think
point
it.
is, be careful with your favor giving whenever it involves the
Yes.
Fae.
I will.
I mean, I could care, like I said, I could care less about that favor. I know that you mean well, but
Trust me, a biological doctor in my capacity, I can repair eyesight if I really wanted to. As long as it's not curse based. A limb, a heart replacement. Most things organic based I could basically repair if I wanted to, with a little bit of only a touch of you. I need to connect by touch or have a part of you and replicate it.
I believe it's effectively genetic cloning, right?
Exactly.
yeah, I already have a friend
That
who
is
does
my
that kind of thing.
metamorphism,
Yeah.
which
Hmm.
it doesn't work on plant, synthetics, golems, and the undead.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Because they are
replacing
a
organs for a corpse isn't
subcategory.
exactly useful, is it?
True. You will be surprised
there
how
anything
many
else that we
time a
need to
lich has
cover in
been
that case?
trying to. Say that again.
Is there anything else that we need to cover in that case?
All right. We have the payment.
how much down
I
are
would
we
like
getting?
the
I remember-
healer to be in the party.
I'll talk to her.
Hi, Shan.
I'm putting
Thank
in the
you.
contract with the Fae to, aside of protecting me as the escort, because that is the main objective here. As, sorry for the warning, with two puny humans, if some
None taken.
reason...
I would prefer that you look at me as being a puny human at that point. Others have
Consider
made
we're
that
going
mistake.
to...
Glass cannon. That's how I like to say it.
Oh,
yeah,
more
that's a
people
better word, like
underestimate.
glass cannon.
Yeah, if someone underestimates a human, that's there's plenty of who've made that mistake before.
Yeah.
Like those cultists.
Trust me, humans are ants, but the numbers game you have compared to a lot of creatures in this plane alone. There is a reason why you
Well-
haven't gone extinct yet as a species.
I mean, also, ingenuity helps.
Oh, the best ability of a human. One of my
They also
favorites
create
of
new
peasants, honestly.
souls, and unlike races like elves, which sort of recycle.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Well, humans are just as strange as everything else in the metaverse. There's just usually less of us comparatively.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Especially in the first city.
Yeah.
Ammunition
Yeah,
and
I
such
don't mind
for
having a Fae watching my back as long as they
reasons.
don't play any tricks on me.
Inventory is just gonna be limited. Is there anything aside from the battery you need material cost for?
No, that
I
should
mean,
be everything.
The battery is
Most of my stuff
effectively
is
your
custom.
ammunition, yeah?
Yeah, it's more if we're going to be going into sustained combat, and I'm not going to have a way to recharge it using our enemies, like I normally would, then I will need to...
Hot swap, yeah?
I'll still be able to fight regardless, but yeah, exactly. I'll still be able to fight. My gun will still work. I just can't use its more useful applications. Besides, most of the things that my tool is useful for are not really relevant here, unless you think we're gonna have to hack something.
Yeah, the sounds.
And I mean not
the
into
science
pieces.
level of that planet is it is basically almost medieval, and the modern
Hmm.
era is far
Yeah,
deteriorated.
they're gonna have some problems in that case.
Yeah.
There might be some ancient magic steel plate or something amongst the cultists, but even then, it's something that I can't think that a ranged archer
Right.
could behead them with a good headshot.
With these nanites, they don't use any raw iron in them, yeah? It's all steel, I assume?
I think so. Why?
Because apparently the
Fae
Fae,
is weak to iron.
Fae have a bit of
Oh,
issues with
fair.
iron, yeah. Steel is fine as long as it's not
I
raw
told
iron.
Dexter, one of the
Yeah,
men
I'll
who's
have to
gonna go
verify with her, but I don't.
depending on the
Who would
day.
use iron nowadays for? It's not exactly
Especially-
the most sterile material.
Yeah,
It's probably silver or something.
yeah, I'd imagine.
Yeah. I told
Somehow,
Dexter that I'm paying the commission fee to make his nanite gauntlets. It is made out of partial iron. So I
Actually-
told him to, while not in combat, put some safety, like a gauntlet over on top of them during the travel, so if we get ambushed by something that isn't a wyvern, I wouldn't want any of you to bump into the Fae and causing them immediate damage. That will break the contract with them with myself, depending on the injury. I don't know
think
if
any
you
of
get
us are going in there with
incinerated.
the intent to hurt our allies. We're all on the same job. Unless someone has a stupid idea they want to kill you or something like that
Well-
during it, it shouldn't be an issue.
I did just remember an additional issue with the, our headed fella. He did say that under no circumstances should any of us get any of his blood directly on us, because it can be quite harmful. Toxic blood
Yes.
sort. He does appear mostly human,
corrosive.
aside from that.
Rot.
So I guess it's
Oh,
kind of similar to your friend with the wolf and lizard
Yeah.
blood, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I assume that a rebreather is not going to solve that, though.
Yeah. Well, it's more
Yeah,
so a
that's-
fact of
okay.
them getting it directly on you. Is how it infects
Not to make
you.
sure that Wisty knows about that,
If I get
seeing as she's more
any
likely to
rot
deal with
blood,
it.
depending on the body type
Decay, I believe he said.
of me, it's gonna be
Isn't your anchor made of
damaging.
iron? Or is it steel?
It's all steel. I mean, I'm not too worried about hitting
Oh,
the Fae
okay.
anyway.
Yeah, I mean more, I don't know how, if it's the contact that's the problem. I mean, obviously it is, but if looking at it is even an issue. If it's steel,
No,
it's
No,
nothing.
it's contact.
It's contact.
That's
you
how
know,
they...
Okay. Yeah, definitely don't smack someone with it then. Not
I
that
do
really
remember-
think that you will.
It's like we rabbits have issues with gold and werewolves have difficulty with silver.
yeah, like kind of like you ever hear that story? The great fairy had her wings chopped off with nothing but a steel chain or iron chain, rather. It's basically that.
Mm.
It all bend through the skin.
Yeah,
I
I
assume.
mean, I try to not make too many assumptions about the Fae, because, well, I've dealt
The
with some,
Fae,
there's many out there. Don't make
Yeah.
deals with them. Iron, especially cold
They
iron
are
in
from the
particular, is
Autumn
bad
Vale,
for them.
is
But...
what I was told.
Yeah.
And I believe someone in the Misty Shore is also from the Autumn Vale, so I can ask him personally if there's any weaknesses I should be aware of.
As well as the
I mean,
composition of the ink.
You might want to be careful on that. They might take it as a threat. If you're asking them what they're
True.
weak to, you may
True,
want to just
but
ask the Fae if there's anything else that you should know about.
Yeah. As well,
Yeah.
the composition of the
True.
inker I don't think is necessarily of this world at this point, considering I did find it on a bit of a ghost ship, rather.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about how you essentially got cursed with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been working out pretty well,
There
though.
is one way I could
pretty useful.
determine, but I don't like to use that transformation willy-nilly, so...
It's not really
I'll
much of a
trust
concern.
your
for me.
cursed weapon to not accidentally be used against you, like tug of war, and you accidentally bump into the Fae accidentally with a decent swing.
I think that would be, there would be many things wrong at that point if that happened.
Yeah, at the point where something else is lifting 3 tons, I'd be concerned that we have a much bigger fish to fry.
It could be using your momentum against you, is what I'm worried about.
Well, is that Faye going to be intentionally walking directly within range of the anchor that will hurt them?
I sort of
Potentially?
assumed that their actual fighting style was a bit more ranged, so I shouldn't be too... I'm not too concerned.
I mean, we've engaged in melee together before, but
Yeah.
if we're fighting a big beastie, I don't think we're gonna have to be directly next to each other in that case.
As
True.
long as
Should it
she's
come
not
to
what gets
You
me
physical
guys can
upset,
combat.
she
provide
shouldn't
the
really have to
shark
worry anyway.
meat.
I think we'd be very hard pressed to anger you.
Be surprised.
Yeah.
It sort of comes
As
with the
old as
barbarian
you
territory.
elves are, I do know that anger an elf, it will not be fun. I angered
Yeah.
a dwarf before.
I mean, I've seen
that
her
was
use
the
that
best.
anchor. I'd rather not have it used against me.
I did actually get angry in that first time we met when one of them creatures, those big ones, folded me over a fence.
Well, they regretted that mistake, didn't they?
Yeah,
They didn't really have much time
those
to.
trained
but...
in the sort of barbarian arts kind of work is when they get enraged. They hit a lot harder and they take hits a lot better.
Yeah. So is there anything else that we need to take care of then?
Let's
I can get
see
in contact
here.
with Wisty and I'll give you the info, so to speak, for Felix, or you can talk through Kate to get access to M4 if you think that they know them, of course. It
You
is a small
can
world.
contact both ways just to play it safe. I believe Mrs. Kate is from the Office organization, according to how I met them with Flowbot. Synthetic with golden shoulder blades. That the transformation
Yes, I've heard of
I
The
won't be
Office.
needing to
Oh.
use.
Yeah, it's an old TV show, right?
Well, that's an
It
old
is, but
take
that's
there.
really
If
old.
something, no,
4
they're
centuries ago.
synthetic-focused organization. They aren't too keen on organics, but they're not. They haven't been problematic, from my understanding, at least.
Yeah, like that
At least not as of late.
that purge I've heard about in the news from a few years ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that they're tied to that. If not, I don't. Or if they were, I don't think we'd know about the Office anymore.
Hmm. Yeah.
True. But yeah, Kate, I mingle with them a couple of times, but I will see what I can do. M4, that will be 6 people. 7 including me, so 1 more individual. I honestly think we need an additional tank. The one that can be the center to protect me and you 2 humans. While the archers and the martial artists, including the blind fella, are in the front line taking the aggressors. But that's just me. What do you 2 think? This is from a tactical standpoint question.
Well, that just comes down to if a formation can be properly held in the environment that we're in.
Best
Because,
offense is a good defense.
Well, it's more beasts don't really care too much about formations.
Yeah.
Once shit hits the fan, it's
Well-
gonna likely be less about that.
Yeah, but
True, but as long
the
as your
additional
damage
defense is still
output,
helpful. I suppose let
Basically,
us
the
know when you got someone.
subquest for the Fae and Coral here will be to keep an eye to let the humans not go front line and get their heads shoot off, basically.
You're
This will person, do they have a habit to not follow orders or take initiative on their own?
Who?
I think they meant
Which one?
Wisty.
Yeah, we'll see. Sorry.
No, she'll listen if she needs to. Especially if I'm the one telling her to not get herself killed.
So they listen to
That she
you
knows what'll
like
happen
a
if,
commander.
I wouldn't say that, but we're very, very good friends.
Hmm.
I think she'd
Understood.
understand that this goes a bit more into my own wheelhouse than it does hers, so. As for M4, they're a bit naive, but unless you are expecting the cultists to talk us to death, it should be fine.
Yeah. If we
I
do
don't
have
think
to
they're
get
gonna
the...
have the
try to pet
opportunity to
the
talk
animals.
if our quiet
Yeah.
approach is getting succeeded.
You do have something
By the
that
way, if individual
contain the
called
meat, yeah?
Dexter, you two may have seen him during the dream
Is that the
stream.
smell
He
getting
had
out?
That won't be
blue
hard to
hair and
acquire.
spikes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can get a containment thing for it. That's no difficulty.
Yeah.
I'm requesting to ask if we shall put a collar on all party members to not breathe a certain distance, in case
I don't think that'll be
The ferals
necessary.
the ferals don't have a flying capability in this plane. They have deteriorated to be beasts and
Even the wyvern you mentioned?
various. Yeah.
Hmm.
I never seen it use its wing.
Seems to be a devolution state.
Well,
Guess
I
it's a
don't
bit
think
more
they
of an
can
angry
use
chicken, then.
leashes. Yeah. Well, chickens are still dangerous. I mean, I've heard of a
But that's
world where
just
you
me.
smack one of
Just
them
because I
and
never
it
seen
does
it
attack
flying.
you. It's killed people before. I think it's some sort of myth, though. I can't really think of something like being real, but with the metaverse, you never know.
Yeah.
True.
Especially little chickens called cuckoos or something, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Cocos. One of my siblings introduced me to. I believe there's also a Wither game that used them called The Legend of Zelda.
It's
White chickens that if
strangely
you poke one
reminding
of
me of
them,
that alien I met the other day.
1,000 will be spawned in and attack the main protagonist.
Okay, so is there anything else that we need to take care of then? It sounds like we've got acquire the meat. If you've got an idea for someone who can tank, because I can
Other
talk
than
to Wisty
myself?
and
They don't really know anyone.
I can put on a
Oh,
board.
surely.
I don't really,
can't think of anyone.
I haven't socialized with the surface in a while, so I've only really started getting used to it.
Well, I think I remember seeing Felix have a big shield and a weapon in that area before, but he did say he was supposed to protect me before, so it can't. It'd be weird weird to think he doesn't have the ability to defend himself or others. So I can talk to him about it and see if he can get M4 roped in that case. If you don't have anyone in mind, that is. There's a lot of synthetics, I know, so you did say that you're not very trusting of them. I'd rather not bring in more
I
than...
can
not,
speak to Mr. Rajes from the Mr. Shore as well, if he can recommend us
An adventurer with the.
I mean, I don't
fitting of a
necessarily
tank.
have an issue as long as they don't got an issue with organics, I suppose. But
No, I don't think get
my
that
issue
vibe
is
from
more so
Felix
getting used to
or,
actually
M4.
socializing with them. You know,
Hmm.
not super common
well,
down in
they're
Australia.
just metal people. Fair. All right, I will talk to Felix. You're welcome to talk to Kate about
I will
getting in
message
contact with
them
M4, but
within
it
the
should be
next
easy in that case.
8 hours. Give and take.
Okay.
Hmm.
And I'll talk to
Yeah.
Wisty as well.
Again, I will go in there briefly to scout. Okay, so the closest coordinate I could take. I need to go in this plane to the closest area to where we're be heading. So there's gonna be some travel. Expect it's gonna be warm. if you have a weak immune system, I can assist, but I will recommend you take your vaccines and such if you have weakness to interdimensional travel to different planes. The Feywild,
No,
elves, and so forth.
I'm resistant to that sort of thing myself. It's not the first time I've been cross dimension.
There is a thing.
Won't be the last.
Where we're getting into that place, is it a teleportation, or are you getting some sort of gate to form between this for us to go through? Because if it's teleporting, we'll probably have to have their friend go through first to establish a gate for them.
I'm gonna put the tiny snow globe on the table. It looks like a little museum. This device here is made specifically for me, and I need this modified with the help of one of my siblings. This one can cross dimension as long as I know the dimensional code. It's kind of like coordinates, X and Y, but in this case it's dimension for D and time for T. But this device I can enter any plane as long as I have the code, but it is jumping to the exact spot here in correlation to there.
Right?
Yeah, I assume we were gonna have a method to get in there. I don't think he would go to all this effort to only tell us afterwards that we have no way to get in.
Oh yeah, no, I just
No.
meant as a reminder for the fact
This
that you
this
can't handle
apocalyptic
magical sort of
Earth
things.
is not
Yeah.
gonna be one of those that you can find a realm gate somewhere in the forest.
Oh no,
or a
not
mountain.
finding one. I mean establishing a temporary gate that they'd have to walk through.
Yeah.
Yes,
that
I
that's
don't
why
know
I'm
if this
looking
is,
for the gate assistance.
Sort of flicks Snuggle. Is this like a technological thing for your people?
This is technological. It's not magical.
Alright, yeah. It should
That
be
was
fine.
the way I
Yeah.
could travel even to this plane and the Dream Tree as well, with the help of Alistair's permission.
Oh, I see.
The god
Okay.
Gaia is a pretty lazy goddess. She did not notice me the 3 times I traveled there. The first visit before meeting you, and now the upcoming one will be the 3rd time I go there.
I mean, I think that's it for me.
I'm
You got
probably
anything?
gonna disguise myself as something small and insignificant so they don't
I've
dance,
covered everything that I'd be concerned about at this
Vive.
point.
Me?
You've already told me how long we should expect it to be, so
Always
That's
expect
all I
double,
was
so
really
bring a
concerned
bedroll.
about. Aside from
24
everything else.
hours.
Yep.
I'm paying the extra if you have something causing issue in this plane for 24 hours. I can get the time code of this plane of the first city pretty easily. There's a lot of cracks in this city. Honestly, I'm surprised this can even still hold up to be a floating city.
Yeah, from what I heard, there's actually an organization working on cracking down on those cracks as well.
yeah. So I guess take advantage of it while it's still there.
Understood. Let me know if this organization needs help. I will gladly assist them, because this is ridiculous with the planar travelers I've seen on Sephora, even without the Celsius Casino.
I think we can get away using pre-existing cracks. I just know their thing is they try to force it so that everyone that does do sorts of plane shifting and such like that is under a certain license, and they are known to be able to close them after. I don't know too much
True.
on it. It's kind of a newer thing, and it's not really an issue where I'm from.
I know one location that will still be within the day period of our travel, but it was recently announced in the social network of us interdimensional species that there has been a Fey and a Hell dimension open in a close proximity of each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many months ago. Apparently, our academy opened up to the Feywild and to Hell, causing creatures to get forced inside our plane forcefully, like a vacuum.
Yeah, we were there.
Wondering if
Or
they
what?
ever found out who directly caused that.
I haven't heard anything. Yeah, I tried to look into it, but
I mean,
My
I guess we'll go back if they have a pass come back.
told
issues they
me
need to
that
get said.
there was
Yeah,
some
if they ever need
previous
help, then-
member.
Hmm.
You must have mixed in pretty well then, considering he did not mention an alpha folk was involved.
There's quite a lot of
There was a lot
races
of
that were
evil.
mixed in there. I don't think they were too concerned.
Fair enough. I'm
As
gonna
long
have
as the
to
place got
report
cleaned
that
up,
to
that's all
him
they
that,
wanted.
He needs to improve his sight in bird form.
It happens.
He's my local scout and also vigilante for Sephira's slum. He's trying to collaborate with the Sephira City Police for whatever reason. I'm skeptical.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the ZPD aren't exactly the most capable, but they are trying to get things fixed up, so maybe we'll see an improvement. I don't expect it, though.
Maybe less gang wars in the lower levels? Doubt it, though.
No, it's intensified as of late, so there's now a couple more gangs in the area. Some tigers and whisperers, apparently. Wearing yellow and green, respectively. No, the
Right.
latter apparently caused some trouble with the Lotus, caused it to go in the lockdown for a bit. Apparently they broke a bunch of vending machines. For some reason. Not really sure why. But neither here nor
Probably
there. That has nothing to do with
something or
us,
other.
so.
True.
Yeah.
Is there any weaknesses or issues, like, could something while we are there cause, you go
I don't
ballistic?
think there's anything.
You mentioned you told me that this one is a barbarian, but when you're
Well, I
going
mean,
raids,
she's fierce when she fights, I can tell you that. I didn't say she was a barbarian.
I did.
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the important thing is I
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, you fight.
Yes. Very
and nail,
kind,
but-
yeah. Yeah, I do. As our sort we do get enraged, which does make us fight harder and such. It shouldn't really be an issue. I still do have the control of who I'm fighting and such, so I can definitely direct my
Okay,
attacks.
so you don't see red and attack willy-nilly if
No.
since you're a sea elf, you don't have any shark instinct involving blood.
Oh no,
I
no.
presume while in that state.
It's
like,
very much more a Sagwin thing than sea elves. We really do not align with sharks very well, actually.
understood. And I know a little bit about humans and how easy it is to crush and whatnot, but is there anything about yourself you want to share to the party? Anything personal aside from protecting?
No,
your friend.
like I said, if someone's gonna use magic on me, they're gonna find it will not work well. Won't hurt me, but
Gaia
it's not gonna do
hammered
what it
down
should.
on the magic in the plane. She hates wizards like a passion. Any noticeable sorcerer born in the plane has been basically executed on the spot of birth.
Yeah,
them
and I can
locals.
safely say that your Fey friend, if they try any sort of fear or charm on me, it's not gonna work. It's advantage of my bloodline, so to speak. I mean, I don't think that they would try that because we're supposed to work together, but
Yeah. Well,
You
it
never
shouldn't be
know,
too
there
much
could
of an
be
issue
misfire,
because,
but
from what I know,
not
you
an
humans
issue.
don't actually know your true names, so that's good. That's like the only thing that you would have to worry about, I imagine.
yeah. Besides, it's not my first time dealing with Fey. Name aside.
Yeah. Well, if that's...
Yeah, no, that's all I would have to say. Yeah.
But yeah, as a father, this annoys me to hear from a reaper that my kid has been sent to purgatory. I will prioritize diplomacy to not be hostile upon meeting Gaia. But knowing them and they see this transformation, less state of mine. I'm taking precaution with the pre-mentioned contract with the Mother of 1,000 Young. It's a creature that is not from this plane. It's eldritch in nature.
So you're bringing
know only
one
the
god to
name
take care of
and the
another
tr-
god.
Yes. I could make a deal that they get to consume the worshippers that we accidentally or purposely kill.
I mean,
Make
I
like
don't
a
really
sacrifice.
care about gods killing each other personally. It's not really my concern.
Yeah. Well, it's
No.
the
The
only
planet
concern at that point would be us getting caught in the middle of that. Make sure you time your summon appropriately at that point, then, because I'd rather not have to,
Yeah, let her.
expose our allies to any eldritch nonsense,
Yes,
if possible. I think that's a fair thing to ask.
Give her friend a signal to actually set up our way out, at least. Because once that's done,
Yes,
you
we're
can
gonna have
do whatever you
a
want and we'll just
command,
jump
a
through and be
code,
out of there.
an alarm of some sort.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah, we are being paid for a job. Let's.
Hey.
We're gonna
The
hold that to the
mother in
letter.
question is not like a fool from your mythology. They don't go insane
Well, you
upon
say
seeing one of...
eldritch.
Yes,
Also god, or at least god level.
Yes.
Able
yes,
to
so,
fight
so
god.
this god
Therefore,
causes fear-induced at
I don't want to
cease.
look at it, and I'd rather
Yes.
not be near it. I'd rather just be avoid being near it entirely. I think that's a fair.
Precisely.
Okay.
I think we can agree on that. I don't think they want to
As
have
long
tea and
as-
crumpets.
I mean, I don't really want to.
If they
If
want
this
to, they're welcome to do
Gaia
that at
is
the
like
Dream
the
Tree.
Gaia of other worlds that I've heard of, can move the earth and such. Personally, I'd want to get out there at the first sign of a rock moving on naturally.
It depends if the divination
Well,
in the
this just
plane
goes
is
back to what I said
magical
before.
or not.
No fighting
Remember,
gods.
The anti-magic goes
That's my
both
one
ways.
rule.
Well, I mean, the god's influence herself. I don't know how much is necessarily magic in his versus force of nature.
True.
Well, I think that's everything then.
Anyhow, I am
Yeah.
gonna prioritize a peaceful encounter to get the information I want. If I can get my son
Yeah.
out of purgatory, that's a bonus. But this favor and contract I have dealt with, it has been breached, and as a father, this is unacceptable.
Yeah.
I have spoken to the Reaper, and there's no way for me to contact them or reach purgatory. The dimension of purgatory, from where they are from, it's not a dimension, it is the literal afterlife. Where...
Well, you could just find a, I guess a necromancer would be the best way to put it.
Yeah.
That'll be difficult. I don't trust enough necromancers after past experience.
Yeah, I don't know any. That was a silly idea, I guess.
I have met
I know a
few
hag. I don't know if she does that, but I don't really trust the will of a hag.
Yeah, hags are on the shit list, so to speak,
Yeah.
of do not make deals
Definitively.
with. They actively will
I
fuck
don't want
you
to
over.
give up my own soul for my kin.
Yeah.
I still have a purpose in this interdimensional business of making things not go extinct.
Yeah, you're speaking of that. You're going to give us an advance on at least part of that, right? Part of our
Which
pay?
advance? Yes. It's part of the pay.
Good.
But if I find out that you've run away with the part pay like a scammer, I'm gonna hire people to hunt you down like a pig. Just a heads up.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
Good. The Bounty Hunters Guild and other places are not the only access to deal with scammers.
Well,
I mean, I'd assume that you want to have a bit more trust in the people you're working with, but
Yes.
it's okay. I get your intentions loud and clear.
Thank you. Full
Well,
payment, including the favor upon completion. Father's promise. I don't know how much homuncle I can help you as a human, but as a doctor,
Yeah, like I
can
said,
do
don't
some
worry about that.
medical. Maybe I can age you down when you reach 98
No.
of something.
It's fine.
Like,
I already told you
get
you're
down to
paying
a prime
my
or something. Who knows?
yeah,
my medical bills. That's all I care about.
Fair enough.
Well, I care about the money as well, but I can get that stuff covered in that case.
Understandable. You mentioned
we'll
you
have to speak
live
to
in
you about
Zephyr, so I
context for
presume you
tech
have your
things.
blood money or your income some way or another.
I mean, both of us, it's mostly just the freelance pays.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask...
Paying for better gear to do better jobs. Yeah.
Do need to ask you about contacts for techie things. I have been wanting to get a few things to work on.
Software or hardware?
I wanted to... There's an idea I had from someone I met the other night. Some sort of shoulder-mounted camera that I could actually see all around me, like on my screen.
Oh, that'd be handy. Yeah, that'd be just, I could talk to Pan about getting you a camera you can mount an earring. You'd be surprised how small cameras can get after all.
Yeah.
Very true.
Well, I'd be concerned with, as far as an earring being getting hidden in the hair, but some sort of simple
so you
shoulder
want a
mount should be
drone in
easy.
that case?
Drone would be more difficult to deal with, but more versatile, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be hard to get the equipment for that. I can talk to Pan about it. It might not be the cheapest, depending on the level of graphical fidelity you're looking for and any additional sort of functions, but if you're just looking for like a steady pro kind of thing, it shouldn't be that expensive.
Well,
Fair enough.
I suppose that's it then. So...
Any other questions?
No, I think
mentioned
that's everything.
ordeal. And
I think,
our intent is stealth through the areas till we reach the terrain of where
and I'll do what I can,
Gaia
but
lives.
as I've stated, stealth isn't my strongest suit.
As long as we don't have fireworks on that happen to explode upon touch from the Fae, we shall be alright.
I mean, the anchor
No
is kind of
flashy-
loud, but it should be
It's
that.
not like a drum.
Well, hold on, wait. Wrong. Kind of loud.
A little bit echoey through the full
Well,
sound.
it depends on if we're hitting concrete or just ground.
True.
As long as I hit something hard, it'll make a decent ring.
Yeah, like that big beast skull.
Gonna keep that in mind. Yeah. Should we make prioritize to make that creature go through a camp of cultists on the way to the end location?
Yeah, that
That's
would
the
be
idea.
preferable, especially if we have people stealthier than me, because not really the stealthiest myself. As in, I've got the clothing for it for the most part, but I don't have camouflage or anything like that. I can crouch.
And you're probably great at it.
Yeah. Me and
Well, protected me
I
from
believe
lightning and fire before, yeah. So
suppose me and Faye should be on our way. I do want to, on the way, ask you about it. That egg.
yeah, of course. Oh,
Don't know how private we are
I'll
about
get in
that.
touch with the others.
Yes.
Don't know how private we are about that situation.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, she would tell you the eggs, like, hatched. You can visit the warehouse,
Yeah.
she'd give you the coordinates and everything. To, like, pop in and say hi to our boy. Our wonderful boy
Our
who has
child.
no name. Yep.
Your name is Steve Jobs. You're gonna run a big business and then you're gonna die and it's gonna collapse behind you.
I'm still firmly in the camp that we are going to get killed, like individually, one by one, murdered by our child, and it'll be perfect. It goes full psycho.
Same.
We make one fuck up
Skepticism.
and they go on a crusade to kill us one by
psycho
one
rampage.
painfully.
Yeah, psycho rampage. Yeah. Yeah, so I will contact Hellhound, and from there I will be able to contact Grass, essentially. I'll get those two in. I'll talk to Wisty as well.
I think that's the end of my RP then.
And yeah, that... Oh, yeah, if you're doing stream stuff.
Yeah. Let me just take a minute to say goodbye and close.
Alright.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Wait, can I change the button out to just escort you out?
No,
Au revoir.
yeah, don't worry. I mean, we're out now as far as I was concerned.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,